Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is a privilege to bring so much Yiddishkeit to our service tonight, and a great honor to present some of the gorgeous musical settings that have been composed to the words of these martyred Soviet Yiddish poets. The first song we'll be singing, an alter Nigen, an old song, is the story of Nachman. Nachman is a Luftmensch, or a person with his feet not quite on the earth, who's entrusted by his boss to go to the market and purchase oxen, and perhaps buy some presents for his wife and his children. Along his journey, he encounters a group of klezmorim, or musicians, playing and singing a beautiful, captivating melody. He asks them how much they charge for this melody. He'd like to purchase it. He pays the money. He goes on his way, happily singing this sweet tune that fills him with so much joy. Not long after that, he overhears another group of musicians playing a different nigen, or song. He falls in love with it. He is enchanted by this melody and feels that he needs to have it. He asks the musicians how much they charge and pays the outrageous amount that they ask, and happily goes on the way to the market. Once he arrives in the marketplace, he begins bargaining for the oxen, only to realize that he has no more money left. Uh-oh. He's thrown out of the market and goes home, where his wife asks him, where are the gifts that she's been waiting for? He opens his mouth, and he sings this nigen that you're going to hear. Oh my gosh, this did not go over well. He gets a big smacking in return. Then his boss shows up. Uh-oh, gets worse, and he asks to see where are the oxen that he's purchased. Nachman begins singing to him another of his beloved melodies, only to be shackled to a post and beaten within an inch of his life. But throughout all the harsh punishment that he receives, Nachman continues to sing and seems oblivious to all of it. The poet Leib Kvitko was one of the most celebrated poets of his time, having been awarded the coveted Order of the Red Banner of Labor Award by Stalin himself in 1939, and having been an important member of the Jewish Anti-Fascist Committee, which Eliza talked about earlier tonight. Kvitko's works have a universal nature to them and celebrate the lives of ordinary people. He was especially well known as an author of children's poetry. He was executed by a firing squad, like all the others, on August 12th, 1952.
Nachmen genommen, das Beitel mit Geld, dem Stock in der Hand und gegangen in der Welt. Geht und a Stade der Set und passt sich liegen und singen an Nigen. Ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai. Hat Nachmen vergessen in Porzus Rinder, in Porzus Rinder und in Weib und in Kinder. Und tut sehr freck, ei, Chotsch mit Leid, wie viel kostet das Anliegen bei heimtiger Zeit? Sagen die Pasticher, 7 Perialen, 7 Jahren tut Nacht und was soll und geht mit Nieden sein Weg. Ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai. Geht und geht und ein Boy wird ersetzt und Klezmer dort liegen und singen an Lieden. Ai, dai, 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 da, da, dai, 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 ai, dai, dai, da, da, dai, 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 ai, dai, 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 da, da, dai, 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 ai, dai, dai, da, da, dai, dai, dai. Hat Nachmen vergessen in Porzels Rinder und in Weib und in Kinder. Und tut sehr frag, ei, freiliche Leid, wie viel kost Asanigen bei heimtiger Zeit? Sagen die Klezmerlach, 13 Filialen tut Nachen was soll und geht mit Nieden sein Weg. Ist so in Marsch gekommen, hört wie schöne Ochsen brummen, nannte sich Dingen und wieder Dingen und unterzuspringen und patschen mit die Händen abgemacht. Schleppt raus das Beitel mit Geld und träßelt ihm ab, a gut nicht Tuis. So, scheit solcher, sollen Westi mir Klettweste kriegen. Sie nimmt unser Nachmen die ledige Hand, öffnet das Mäuel und singt sie an Nigen. Ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai. Kommt zurück heim und die Rinde, kommt und hängen zwei und die Kinder. Nu, was hast du Nachmen gebracht uns von Weg, wo seinen waren, die Matone sich fragt. Biegt rein, verweibelt im Kopf, öffnet das Mäuel und singt im Ohr. Ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai, ai dai 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 dai. Nennt das Weib die Horn sich reißen, mit der Fatschetele im Mann tut sie schmeißen. Da kommt der Porz und stellt sich weg und neuft die Ochsen, tut ihm afreng. Hebt der Räuf vorn Porz den Kopf, öffnet das Mäuel und singt ihm auf. Ai, dai, 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 ai, dai, 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 dai. Du Teufel verfeuern im Binden zum Flug mit der Ritter im Schinden. Steht gebunden, die Beischofen springt, oben geholen sein Nigen singt. Ai, dai, 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 da, da, dai, 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 ai, dai, dai, da, da, dai, dai, dai. Ai, dai, 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 da, da, dai, 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 ai, dai, ai, da, da, dai, dai, dai.
Moshe Kulbach was a brilliant Yiddish and Hebrew poet, and writer, born in 1896 in Smorgon, near Vilna. He received a traditional yeshiva education at the esteemed Volozhin Yeshiva. During World War I, he resided in Kovno, writing Hebrew poetry and contributing to the rich culture of budding Jewish thinkers and linguists. Later, Yiddish newspapers showcased his literary creations, which did not stray from Jewish themes. Amidst Soviet political challenges, Kulbach continued to create. His poem, Sterndl, Little Star, echoes a prayer and is a heart-wrenching example of Kulbach's literary genius. Set to music by an unknown composer, the song's lyrical folk style, written in 1916, may be looked at as something of a premonition of Kulbach's future horrific execution 2 decades later. Kulbach was a victim of Stalin's early purges. According to sources, Kulbach's arrest in 1937 was part of a particularly vehement Stalinist repression that affected Yiddish writers and cultural activists in Minsk. After holding a show trial, Kulbach was shot on the 29th of October. Tonight, as we say his name, sing his Sterndl, and tell only a fraction of his story, we hope to highlight the profound connection between heritage and art that Kulbach embodied. He begins, "Little star, my blue herald, won't you be a messenger to my village for me? There you'll find my sad and worried wife. Comfort her and bring her light." And he closes, "Tell them not to spoil Yankele, but to send him to Cheder. Let him learn to recite the Kaddish properly. Who knows? God will be merciful."
Sterndl, blauer Staffelele, sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele. Sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele. Sterndl, Sterndl, blauer Staffelele, sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele. Sen Wester Gessele noch dem Agribele, dorten gefind sich meine Chore Stichstelle. Dorten gefind sich meine Chore Stibele. Sterndl, Sterndl, blauer Staffelele, sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele.
Allein bei der finsterer Scheibele sitzt dort vertreuet und eiget mein Weibele. Sitzt dort vertreuet und eiget mein Weibele. Sterndl, Sterndl, blauer Staffelele, sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele. Teist dir, du Sterndl, leicht dir in Stuba rein, sog ihr der Eberster, wird sich merachem sein. Sog ihr der Eberster, wird sich merachem sein. Sterndl, Sterndl, blauer Staffelele, sei mir a Schliach macht Jankele, Leitze und Rüvele, sog sich lehen und kuschte ihr Brüvele, sog sich lehen und kuschte ihr Brüvele. Sterndl, Sterndl, Leuer, Stafettele, sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele. Soll sich äußern in Kadesh gesagt zu sein, Efter, men weiß nicht, nur Gott wird mir Rachim sein. Efter, men weiß nicht, nur Gott wird mir Rachim sein. Sterndl, Sterndl, Bleuer Stafettele, sei mir a Schliach und fall in mein Städtele.
Itzik Pfeffer was one of the most prominent and controversial Soviet Yiddish writers. Born near Kiev in 1900, Pfeffer joined the Communist Party at the age of 19 and volunteered for the Red Army. He became a passionate spokesperson for communism, writing for the masses using simple prose. His poetry celebrated the collective and romanticized the throngs of people who would fight together for the revolution. He praised Stalin as a, quote, decision maker that already sees the directions which the world will follow and shows the world the way with his hand, end quote. Throughout his writing career, Pfeffer was on the front line of every Yiddish literary gathering and was the editor or co-editor of virtually every Soviet literary journal.
As a member of the Jewish Anti-Fascist Committee, he and renowned actor Solomon Michoels toured the United States, Canada, Mexico, and England in 1943, raising more than $30 million for the Soviet government and speaking at a rally right here at Madison Square Garden for 50,000 people, where he portrayed the Soviet Union as the ultimate homeland for the Jewish people. Pfeffer's brazen poem, Ich bin a Yid, I am a Jew, was spoken at that rally and demonstrated his proud identity as both Jewish and Soviet. Less than a decade later, however, this poem was used as evidence against him in the trumped-up trial that ultimately cost him his life. The composer of this song, as well as it turns out, all the songs that we were singing tonight, is the beloved superstar Soviet singer Emil Gorovets, who, if you listened, we played his recording as you were walking in tonight. Check him out, the most wonderful Hartzdicke singer and composer.
Von deures dicken Deuer hat mich gestarrt im Wanderweg. Die Beise Schwert von Pein und Treue hat nicht vernichtet mein Fahrweg. Mein Volk, mein Glauben und mein Blehen, sie hat mein Freiheit nicht geschmiert. Von Ich bin ein Jid. Der kluge Knecht von Rebbe Kive, die Chochme von Jeschaias Wort, und genährt mein Durst, meine Liebe, und sie mit Hass zu Neugeburt, der Schwung von Maccabäerhelden, bekommt es Blut in meinen Sied, von alle Scheiters Fleisch lernen. Ich bin ein Jid, ich bin ein Jid, ich bin ein Jid, ich bin ein Jid.
Russia, if my faith in you were any less great, I might have said something different. I might have complained, you have led us astray and seduced us young, wandering gypsies.
Precious to us is each blow of your hand, though frightfully painful to bear. Yet, no matter how great the hurt or the shame, we have come to you to declare,
To where could the oceans implore us to go now, to what distant shores, when glad Russian streets are before us? To the end of our lives, we are yours.
Until now we followed, unpledged to you.
our wild birthrights a star far and wide.
But now we have fallen in step with you, though of your kisses
we
die.